please go ahead. Anybody who wants to come in before Stefan, takes over and talks about the tools, please unmute yourself and just do come in.
Hi.
Hi, we can hear you.
Okay, great. So I realized that a lot of the campaign ideas was like around countries that are able to like do a lot of like online access to contributions and all of that. But I mean, when you take countries like Africa and Ghana to be specific, in terms of online payment and all of that is something that is like a bit difficult to do, and also like the things you mentioned, auctions, online parties, and all of that is like not really like something that we do a lot of time here. So like, is there like other alternative for especially people in Africa in terms of trying to get audience to also help contribute to a particular cause?
Thanks, Alex, for your question. Is there somebody who wants to come in and respond to this? I mean, I have a couple of reactions I want to share, but other people, please feel free to come in if you want.
And maybe I could just briefly comment. So I'm from ILGA Europe, so concentrating really on the European region, but even within our European region, the differences between availability of tools and platforms is really a big issue. And I know that in many countries, activists are really benefiting a lot from things like Facebook and Instagram fundraising tools, which are really user-friendly, and organizations are making income out of this. But unfortunately, they're only available in a very limited number of countries. So when I've given workshops on digital fundraising, I've had activists from places like Central Asia, Ukraine, who say that it's very difficult to find good user-friendly donation and fundraising platforms that work and are supported in their region. It's very unfortunate and unfortunately I at least don't really have a good solution or alternative to suggest.
Thanks, Anna. I also wanted to come in here, Alex. I mean, and also maybe a little bit more personal. So I spent a few years in Ghana, so it kind of is a little bit familiar, although it was so long ago that it's, and actually it is long ago, but I know that Ghana's changed a lot, and Ghana's also has today a huge middle class of people who are extremely well connected and who have a lot of platforms, and there are, online payment, tools that work in Ghana. I mean, so maybe if you want to fundraise, you also want to make sure that you hit that kind of bracket, right? People from Legon rather than Labadi, right? So if you have this kind of circles, then people have these kind of tools. People have good internet connection. They have power. Everybody's got their iPhones, and they're all connected on, PayPal, for example. So just paying a PayPal button, can help you get donations from these people. So it might not be everybody, it might not be the community, but it might be people who have the money. And this is the people that on this occasion you want to tap into. The second thing I want to maybe share with you here is that you also have a very, very huge Ghanaian diaspora in places like in London. So you might want to consider doing a fundraising event for Ghanaians in London. And they have access to everything. And what you provide is a connection back to your community. So or in the States, or in somewhere else. So it can be a moment where you can also frame your fundraiser like, hey guys, we're here. It's not easy. We're under lockdown, just like you are. But for us, it's more difficult because you come from here and you know what it's like. So come to us. We're gonna make an evening of, I know it's no more high life, but whatever. So it tells you how long ago I was there. But this is Ghanaian music, and we bring you an evening on May 17 on Ghanaian music, and we ask you to chip in. So, maybe the target group is more the issue than the tools and stuff. See what I mean? I mean, if that makes sense. Which doesn't mean that obviously you forget the community, but maybe this is a specific fundraising event. So fundraising events might be easier to do with different crowds. So anyway, just a 2 cent. And obviously that doesn't mean, you don't service the community. Or maybe actually it's a good way to bring community people in and to participate in a fundraiser to target, different kinds of people. So obviously, but you're right. I mean, we are limited by the setting. Any other contribution or question?
I just thought about a very quick idea that might respond to this lack of availability of platforms. In case money cannot be collected on the spot, what you can collect is the commitment, and then collect the money or the income, whatever, later when people can go to a post office and send whatever tool there is to send money through a postal service or something. So I know that it will lower the chances of everybody donating, but it would still, some people will do it if they publicly commit to donating. So if you have an online event but you cannot collect money, just at least get commitments from people, like they can show pieces of paper, I will donate this amount of money, and then when it's possible to collect it, you will be able to go back to them and tell them, hey, do you remember when you committed? Maybe you can pay now. It's just a very quick idea.
Yeah, thanks, Tudor. That's obviously also one of the ways. But you're right. I mean, donations, commitments to donations are a risky business, but we all know this. But sometimes it's your best option. Thank you, everybody. So I think we should now also, for the sake of time, move on and give Stefan the floor, who's going to take us through a certain number of tools. And I've, we've talked about it yesterday, and there's some of them are really cool. So Stefan, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so hello everyone. Yes, I dressed up shirt specifically for this after 7 weeks in confinement, so that's